On the streets of Montreal, we have 3 people dead, a police officer, a suspect, and a civilian, with 1 police officer seriously wounded and remaining in the hospital. And before blood is even dried to the pavement, we have online adjudicators coming out to pontificate and castigate the injured officer. Why? Partly because she's a woman, and partly because they have no fucking idea what they're talking about. Guys like this are examples that sometimes anal sex can lead to conception. This fuckstick here had the audacity to call for the firing of the female officer moments after the video was posted online. Before we go any further, I want to let you know one thing. I am not going to be showing the video. I'm not going to be showing any footage from the shooting. I'm not going to be doing any of that. Listen, one thing we have to realize before we talk any further about this is that in a world of social media and interconnectivity, videos like this are put online immediately. These people that we're watching have families. That officer that was killed had a child and a child on the way, had a wife. They don't need this stuff floating around online. People in general, people like you and I, we're not supposed to see this kind of stuff. It's not normal for us to witness death in this degree. So I will not be showing it. I'll not be doing any commentary of the video or anything like that. So if that's what you're here for, please go ahead and click away. I don't condemn you at all. It's just that's not what this video is going to be. Listen, I worked as a paramedic, many of you know that, but I was also in the military as a medic for 6.5 years, and I actually scored marksmanship. I actually have the Crown cross rifles on my jacket for scoring marksman. I am fairly familiar with fire and movement. I fired many thousands of rounds while I was in the military. Part of pre-deployment training was a lot of weapon familiarization. And the thing that we see here is a female officer in cover that's almost no cover at all. If you're looking at this photo, okay, you'll see some chairs right here on the left side of the picture. The shooter is off over in this direction over there, and he is approaching, coming this way, which is why I believe this civilian here was somewhat motivated to run this way. This officer was taking rounds from this direction. Her partner is deceased and incapacitated over here. This is a chaotic and fluid situation that no training can really prepare you for. And I'll die on that hill. You can prepare and you could train over and over and over, and you can have certain muscle memory ingrained into you. But this is chaos. This is absolute chaos. You cannot ready yourself for this exact scenario. It is, especially in Canada, it is not heard of. This isn't really something that we are commonly connected with. And the other thing that people seem to gloss over is that the shooter came around here and later was deceased somewhere over here on the left side, because the female officer incapacitated the threat. She neutralized the threat. Now, not many people are going to give that the credit that it deserves. And it does deserve credit. It absolutely deserves credit. But not many people are going to give her that credit. Instead, they're going to castigate her for being a female, which is all over Twitter here. I'll scroll through, but I don't really want to show because there's video here and I don't want to show video. But it's the one here says, looks like female cop may have tagged the civilian who was sneaking around behind her. He should have got down and stayed down in that situation. That's really easy to say. It's easy to say that. It's so simplistic and easy to say that when you have the luxury of being able to pause a video, when you have the luxury of being able to sit on your couch as a fat guy and go, yeah, in that situation, probably would have triple sack out 360 kick off the wall and then headshot, man, over like that. This isn't Call of Duty, bud. This isn't Call of Duty, and it's not a movie, and you're not the main character. You weren't in this impossible scenario. This scenario is truly an impossible thing to fathom. It really... But there's so many of you that try. There's so many of you that try and think that you got it all figured out. It is ridiculous. Look at this fucking retard. Mark Slapinski. WTF, the female cop that killed an innocent civilian in Montreal should be fired Immediately. Immediately, that's what he said. So I called him a fucking idiot because that's exactly what he is. Are you fucking retarded? Slappy, watch the video. Yeah, that is going to get a like right there. Thank you, sir. Yeah, listen, there's so many brain dead morons out there that think that they are the main character of an action movie, that they are John Wick. This portly fella with just the most generic complexion I could think of considers himself somewhat of an aficionado on politics. Okay, fine. Stay in your lane, man. Stay in your lane. You know nothing about tactics. You know nothing about police response. You know nothing about adrenal response, because the last time that you had an adrenal response, it was from stubbing your toe on the way back to the couch with a bowl of popcorn to watch your favorite show. That's as close as you've got to a life and death moment. I was in the military for 6.5 years, and we were doing pre-deployment training, getting ready for Afghanistan. My unit was getting ready to deploy fairly soon, and we were doing different kinds of exercises, different live fire movement, things like that. And there was an incident where a simulated IED went off, and my buddy, a guy that I had been in the military with pretty much the whole time, went through medic school with, was in the shacks with, lived in an apartment with off base. He was taken down by this IED, and he was laying on the ground, and he was told to scream bloody murder. So that's exactly what he did. Every instinct, every fibrous sinew of my body twitched to run toward him. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. My plan was to go out there, grab him, move him behind a position of cover, and render aid. The minute I started to move, a sergeant just ceased everything, grabbed onto me, just tore a strip off me. What the fuck are you doing, Private? If you run out there to go get your buddy, we have 2 dead medics. You've rendered your weapon passive. In the middle of a firefight, there are rounds still coming in, and you want to go get your buddy. You just killed yourself and your buddy. It was instinct. It was instinct. I wanted to go get my buddy. My brother. Win the firefight. That female officer lost the other half of her fire team. She was alone. Nobody knows how long she's been on the job. Nobody knows what calls they went to before this one. But she has now faced one of the most impossible situations that any human being could face, especially in the first response world. Her partner is dead beside her, feet away from her. And she has rounds coming downrange. And she has limited cover and limited ability to move. That would be a paralyzing situation for almost any other human being in the world. She neutralized that threat. That threat came around the corner to engage with her and injured her very badly, and she neutralized the threat. But this guy built like a human fucking thumb. Built like a human thumb, dude. Look at this. This is him right here. This is him. Put a fucking tie on my thumb, and that's him. That couldn't be any more him. Has the audacity to castigate the female police officer without knowing anything at all. And that's where all these comments came to. I haven't seen any comment on that whole Twitter sphere asking how they're doing. How are the other police officers? How's the family? How's the friends? The friends that didn't want to see their friend die, but now it's all over social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. It's everywhere. And you get guys like this coming on to talk about it and condemning the female police officer. So now they got family in the hospital with this female who just lost her partner, possibly shot a civilian, discharged her weapon. faced a life and death moment. And we're questioning her heroism? Like, what sense does that make? It makes zero sense to me. I don't understand how we got to that point where we start questioning the female officer. Those cops didn't ask to be in that scenario. That cop that died didn't wake up for work and go, today's the day. Today's the day. And no idea. It's a risk that every first responder takes, especially the police. And then we get fucksticks like this who come on and try to condemn them as opposed to checking in on them. And yet this guy's supposed to be some sort of morale beacon and a figure of clarity when it comes to politics. I mean, I guess if there's one thing he's got in common with politicians is that he's a liar, disingenuous, stupid. Listen, it takes seconds in a life and death scenario. In a life and death scenario, you have fractions of a second to respond. And you have to make decisions. And sometimes, no matter what decision you make, death will come. Whether it's for you, a person you're working on, your partner, or an innocent bystander. I've been around when people take their last breaths, and it is awful. I have held the hand of people who have taken their last breaths, and it is horrendous. I've been rendered absolutely ineffective and useless because no matter what I would do, I wasn't going to do anything. We try anyway. It's a hard thing to watch. It's a hard thing to watch. And you have fractions of a second to make a choice. And things can go from calm to chaos real quick. I went to a house once to declare somebody deceased. We used to call those 9 Bravos. Went to a house to declare somebody deceased. The individual was downstairs in a makeshift bedroom. It's the laundry room, but there was no laundry hookups there. No machines anyway. The individual was facing the wall, so her back was to us as we entered into the room. And clearly deceased, just has the look of death. And family starts coming down the stairs. We inform them of the sad news. Things begin to escalate, though, because they think we should take her out of the house. Well, we don't do that. That's not part of what our service is. We don't transport the dead. We tell them that no, we now have to call the police because it's a death at home. The police have to go and, so you think we did it? Things start to escalate again. It escalated to the point where I got pushed and engaged into a physical altercation, and I was then fighting on top of the body. Seconds. Things change within seconds. And yet we have all these online adjudicators, like I said, these people that just all of a sudden get law degrees. Sometime between morning coffee and the first minute they hear about this, they now have law degrees, and they have excellent tactical experience, and they've seen everything. We know I wouldn't have done that. Should have stayed down, splayed out. Become one with the wall. Close your eyes. Peacock it, man. Don't shoot me. I know. Life is not a movie. People seem to think it's a movie. People seem to think, shoot him in the leg. Why did they shoot him in the leg? Well, because, Karen, that's a very small target to hit. When adrenaline's flying and the subject is still moving, you don't really have time to sit there and go, I'm just going to go 3 inches up, proximal to the patella, boom. Hey, you know what runs along the leg there, Karen? The femoral artery, one of the biggest arteries of the human body. A gun is lethal. It's a lethal. You challenge it. You shoot center of mass so that you have the best chance of hitting your target. You shoot to kill. You don't shoot to wound. You shoot to hit center of mass. Snipers, snipers don't aim for the head. It's not a movie. Snipers aim for center of mass, okay? It is not a movie. It's sexy in movies to get those wicked headshots. They aim center of mass. The rounds are big enough. They'll do enough damage. They don't need to aim for the tiniest point on a human body. Life is not a movie. What we witnessed is not a movie. Just because it's in video form on a screen, it doesn't mean it's a movie. It's real life. Somebody went through that. And nobody's checking in with anybody. We get human thumb fucksticks political guys that want to come in and chime and talk about firing this person. And that motherfucker went home and slept soundly, by the way. Like after he sent that tweet, I'm a good person. No, you're a miracle baby, because typically anal sex shouldn't lead to birth. But here you are. Beyond that qualifier, though, you're just fucking useless. Twitter is not a microcosm of life or society. We think it is because there's a lot of people on there, but there's a lot of bots. I would argue that Twitter is mostly fake and not real people. So I try not to get brought up into it and try not to get turned up too much by the shit I see on Twitter. But this is crazy. This is nuts to me, because it's 2026 and there's still people judging a female officer for being female. And there's people that judge a cop just for the tactics used. I'll tell you this right now. If a police officer happens to come to this video, if you're a cop, and whether you work in Montreal or in the States, wherever you are, thank you for what you do. I love you. And I mean that. I sincerely mean that. Society would not function without you. And to Montreal, I am so sorry. There are no good words. There is nothing I can say that will truly demonstrate the gravity of this situation. And I don't think I can even fully comprehend the gravity of the situation. But as a Canadian, I mourn. There have been so many police deaths in such short succession here in Canada. It is almost incomprehensible to think about. And this is not the Canada that I grew up in. And I know almost every generation says that about the country that they are in, but this really, truly is not the Canada I grew up in. I don't know what happened. We can blame liberals, we can blame governments, we can whatever, but I don't know what happened. I have no idea. What I've read is that there's a 25-year-old from Lethbridge, Alberta, who committed this heinous act and wrote a 104-page manifesto, of which I made it through probably 20 pages before I had to tap out and just, a sick individual. And we seem to have a sick society right now. And I don't know how we became this sick, and I don't know where we go from here, but I feel like I need to put out something that resembles positivity, something that resembles empathy, love, and care. And I understand that the shooter has family too, and that there's going to be people who call me a hypocrite because I don't send love and affection out to that shooter. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm not perfect. I don't give a fuck about that guy. I don't give a fuck about that family. I don't give a fuck about anything in his life system. Don't care. Not my target. You sing Kumbaya for him. There are plenty of people that will. Just go ask the Carmelo Anthony guys to go and support this fucking guy too. My thoughts are with the police officers, the police department, the first responders, and the people that witnessed this, the people that saw it and recorded it on their phones, and the people that were down on the ground. With a civilian that's no longer with us. Those are where my thoughts are. Those are where my empathy points will land. It's important moving forward, though, because you're going to be inundated. I've already seen false stuff online. I've seen on the Twitter sphere. I didn't actually show you guys because I didn't want to give it any credence. But there's above the video, or above the picture that I showed you at the beginning, there is a post from somebody who calls themselves Canadian Man. And it says, breaking, Montreal shooter identified as local Canadian trans activist. And then he gives a name and a picture of a young individual. Completely untrue. Completely untrue. As much as we like to bitch about our mainstream media, as much as we like to vilify them, and as flawed as they are, and they are flawed, they are not without flaws, don't get me wrong, I'm not beating on the drum and saying that they are this altruistic entity. They are as flawed as they get, but they are beholden to certain journalistic integrity practices. Try not to let Twitter lead you and your thoughts and emotions into a certain area. Whenever you start seeing or feeling something, pause, take a second, take a time out, and look at something for yourself. Try to validate information before you spout off. And stay away from comment sections. I'm giving myself advice as much as I'm giving it, but stay away from comment sections because they're just poisonous. They're just designed, with bots, by the way, most of them, to keep you on the platform, because then they could sell you more stuff. You see an ad here and an ad and a pop-up and a thing, and that's what it's designed to do. What started out as social connectivity became social programming, became advertising, commerce, capitalism, whatever. It's a reality. It's a byproduct of living in a capitalist society. It's going to happen. And it did happen. My biggest advice that I could give, and that I'm going to take myself, is that tonight I am unplugging completely. I'm getting offline. I'm going to hug and kiss my family, and then I'm going to go for a walk around my beautiful town. I'm going to go walk. It's so beautiful outside. It's hot, but it's beautiful. I'm going to go and I'm going to watch the wind play on the grass a little bit, and I'm just going to take a walk around a peaceful, quiet neighborhood. And then I'm going to come home and I'm going to hug my wife. And I'm going to be grateful for the life that I have. And I'm going to be grateful to the police officers that ensure that we have the safety to live these lives. I had another insult that I was going to use just now for that guy who spouted off at the mouth. Don't go chasing him down, by the way. If you watch this and you get angry, don't go chase it. It's not worth it. It really isn't. You're not going to change his mind. You're not going to all of a sudden make him come to some realization. If he hasn't had the ability to come to that on his own, he's really not that intelligent. He might pretend, he might think, he might truly believe, but he's clearly not that intelligent. It is not worth engaging with him. I already made the mistake of sending something over Twitter. I have Twitter because it's nice to have access to immediate social information in emergencies. Living in BC, we get wildfires, and sometimes it's nice to get information that's a little quicker than the government updated sites. So I have Twitter for that main purpose, and I kind of fell victim to emotion today, telling that guy to F off. Like I said, I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm going to make poor decisions. But tonight, I'm going to make a good one. Tonight, I'm going to get out and just breathe. Because that's really all I can do. Stay safe out there. Please be well. Look after yourselves. This is unfathomable tragedy here for Canada. This is it was evil. What we witnessed was evil. It's not a good thing. So hug your loved ones and find some love and some light. It's the only way to get by. Take care. Look after yourselves.